Hey, there it is. Hey guys, Rock Richards.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Geek Bytes podcast, episode number 156. I'm Ramon, Mejia.
I'm Edgardo, Acosta.
And every single week on the podcast, we bring you the roundup of the week's best geek and tech news. We discuss that news and, of course, anything else we happen to be interested in this weekend. This week, we're talking about some great stuff, including
Smallville actress involved in a sex cult. Donkey Kong Championship losses. Stan Lee strikes back. Teen Titan TV shows photos, new expensive movies, lots of casting news, the movie trailer Showdown, and much more.
Absolutely. And we got a couple comments from the chat room already. Tommy Seamus, hey Tommy, says, guys, seriously, why is Rock Richards such a piece of garbage? No idea. I don't know who Rock Richards is.
I'm going to look him up.
Oh, there you go. So, like new news coming from the audience.
Unless it's a friend of mine, and I'm like, oh, then.
Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Unless it's like group.
It's probably, if anything, inside thing. But
I figure it's like some wrestler dude.
We'll find out.
So there you go. So, thing we'll look up as we
go to. I see him.
But of course, we begin our show, though, with Geek News. Good as a wrestler?
Yeah.
It is indeed a wrestler, ladies and gentlemen. We have confirmed Rock Richards is a wrestler. Whether or not he's a piece of garbage has yet to be determined by our fact checker, Edgar Acosta.
Yo, Rock Richards.
So there you go.
Okay.
We begin our show with some... This is such a funny story to me. I mean, for the people involved with it, very tragic, very sad. Yeah. People going to jail. But for a nerd like me who love the show, it is super entertaining and funny. Here's the story. Okay, if you remember the show Smallville, there are many interesting characters. One of them, which was Allison Mac, who played Chloe Sullivan for over 10 seasons of that Superman show. Honestly, went on too long. She was arrested this last Friday in New York City on charges of sex trafficking. That's right. Sex trafficking conspiracy, and forced labor conspiracy. She was indicted along with Keith Rayner, the alleged leader of a self-help group, and a purported pyramid scheme involving being investigated for operating a shadow society of female slaves. Other news outlets have not been as generous. They've called this a sex cult. And there are other big names associated with it, including the other girl who was on Smallville, who played not Lois Lane, but Lana Lang.
Oh.
Yeah, that she was in this group as well. Whether or not she has any ties to this other part of it, where it was sex trafficking and slavery, nobody knows. There have been many public reports that say that she's already left. She left before any of that happened, but her name and Allison Mac were used as recruitment names to get other women into this group of purportedly to be strong women leadership role, kind of stuff. But then it turns into this very less savory thing, but super hilarious to me. I know it's inappropriate, but it's so that's what Chloe did after Superman didn't care as a sidekick. She actually faces up to 15, or minimum, I should say, of 15 years to life in prison if she is convicted. According to prosecutors, Mac is credited with publicly available materials co-creating a program called The Source, which recruited actors. Some of the things in the actual report are very graphic. These are words from the United States Attorney Richard P. Donahue, who said, as alleged in the indictment, Allison Mac recruited women to join what was reported to be a female mentorship group that was in fact created and led by Keith Rayner. The victims were often then exploited, both sexually and for labor, to the defendant's benefit. So I'm kind of curious, what they had them do for labor. Were they making them clean the lawn, mow the grass, clean their cars?
This is to me a big LA cult thing, as in, everybody has a little group of whatever, so they do the thing. I guess it originally started, hey, be all feminist, but then hey, but you still had to suck dick. So
maybe. I don't know if that's the case, but it sounds like it is. I think it also was we targeted female actresses as a way of you can network in Montreal, and this was not a Los Angeles-based thing, by the way. This was a Canadian thing. The Canucks, ladies and gentlemen, were getting this thing together. So I'm that is...
The sex trade has always been weird and always usually sad because always, they always try to lean towards the minors, underage, all that prostitution and stuff like that. But it's always just worse. It's worse, obviously, for the young ones, the
I don't
innocent
think
ones.
that any of these people in here were underage. They were just female actresses who were trying to get a break in the acting business, and this might have been a way for them to like network or find the source of mystical spiritual energy to like get their dreams.
Oh, scumbag's a scumbag. I don't.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, we don't want to like add underage sex to the story because it's already bad enough. But because it's very interesting, so I'm like,
that sucks.
Who knew, man?
Like, I understand, once again, the Hollywood thing about, you join a certain group, cult, if you will, and just where it goes. You never hear about a good one.
Well, there are many versions of this particular story, and that people who were involved in the early portions of this thing, they said it was very affirming. It was very much like a support group of like individuals to like a family and communicated, and they'd help each other out and do lectures and like and go on group events and stuff. And it's more like networking, a kind of situation where you're like, you're just like talking to people in the community who are actors and helping each other out. And then for part of it just slowly went in this sinister direction, and it's super interesting the fact that the authorities are actually prosecuting them. That means that they have enough evidence to do so, because otherwise it's just speculation and rumor. And it means you have witnesses, you have actual like evidence of like these things occurring, including slavery and sex trafficking, or trading sex for favors maybe.
I want to know who's the top pimp on top. No,
that dude. That dude, yeah. The dude they put in it. It was led by Keith Rainier.
Keith Rainier, what an ass.
So there you go. That's why it's like he's at the top of that pyramid scheme as it was described in the actual story. But in fact, it's a very scandalous and interesting stuff.
Canadian sex cults just sounds high.
That sounds like a horror movie or something that you should watch or something. Okay, more geek news. We have
totally geek news.
This was another story that made us all laugh, or made me laugh, anyways. If you've ever, there was a whole documentary about this, about the race to get and confirm the highest Donkey Kong score ever. I think it was called The King of Kong. The first 4 quarters there ago.
I remember that documentary.
It was back in 2007. The film from director Seth Gordon follows 2 expert gamers who are racing for the record to be the first player to ever reach 1 million points in the classic arcade game Donkey Kong. At the center of the story is King Kong is an underdog sports tale that could go toe-to-toe with the likes of Rocky, the Karate Kid, Rudy, and more. Steve Weber was portrayed as the hero, a family man looking to achieve a goal that would bring some glory to his life. Meanwhile, Billy Mitchell was painted as the villain, who ended up triumphing over the hero and becoming the first player to hit 1 million points. But recent developments reveal that Billy Mitchell cheated. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Twin Galaxies, the world's largest tracker of video game world records, announced today that after months of research, like I guess 12 times many months because this came out in 2007, they believe that Billy Mitchell had cheated to achieve his record score of 1,047,200 on Donkey Kong. Therefore, they have stripped Mitchell of his Donkey Kong score and all his other video game high scores submitted over the years. And Guinness Book of World Records has also removed Billy Mitchell as Donkey Kong scores, as well as records for Pac-Man, basically taking away everything he is famous for. Like, he actually spun his Donkey Kong fame into a restaurant franchise. Like, he established like this chicken, fried chicken franchise, and it was.
I thought his thing was barbecue sauce.
He did something with it. Maybe it's a barbecue place joint.
It was a barbecue sauce, because did you watch the documentary?
Yeah. I remember the documentary. Where he's standing in this picture is the kitchen of that restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So he was actually, a lot of these places start off as like a restaurant where they work on their recipes, get their formula, and then like sell the bottles of like barbecue sauce or whatever on the side, to customers or to marketplaces. But he definitely started a restaurant first.
Okay.
But yeah, this is like, because nobody liked him in that movie.
He was an ass.
He is.
He was an ass.
Yeah, he was very much the arrogant jerk, and very good villain for the movie, I'll say. But I don't. I'm not sad that this happened at all.
But the part is they don't exactly say how he cheated.
Oh no, not in this particular story. They go on to a little bit, cut it. But they say that he used an emulator Donkey Kong instead of like an official old school cabinet. So it has to be an original Donkey Kong cabinet. Instead, he used a refurbished one with like an emulator for Donkey Kong, which means that as an emulator, you can modify it to do whatever you want to, and it doesn't have the same original components as the original Donkey Kong, which it's just a fine detail. But it does make a difference in these things because emulated versions of Donkey Kong aren't the same as the original ones. They don't have the same connection. So it's kind of an uneven playing field, and you don't actually know if you modify the original emulator to, make it easier or to change the patterns or any number of other things, which is why he should be stripped of his particular record because it's not on the same playing field.
Yeah, I thought the whole concept of it was, especially if I remember correctly from the documentary, it was supposed to take place in a legit arcade. The machines were serviced to make sure it was all on the up and up. And I thought that was the legit part.
I remember, I could be wrong for the movie, but I think they did them separately. Like the hero went to the arcade and he used the official one. The Billy Mitchell used his own arcade cabinet.
No, see, no.
And I'm like, okay, well that's and again, it was all filmed, so it might have just taken a long time to do the records. But even at that point, there were like suspicions from the hero that this is not on the up and up, but it wasn't like brought up in the documentary because again, there was no actual proof potentially. So a very interesting development in the geeky game stuff, and nobody but geeks really care.
You ever played in your old school arcade games and caught people cheating one way or another?
Well, sure. I mean, I guess I don't really consider it cheating if you're using exploits from the original game. Like, it's not considered cheating when you use the contra code, right? If it's a part of the original game code. I
think that's really an enhancement, but it's not
cheat. You're not breaking the rules. It's something that's baked in.
You didn't pop like a game Ginny in there in your game and added a whatever kind of thing to modify your gameplay.
You're not breaking. You're not hacking it. If you're exploiting known loopholes in the system, that's the designer's fault. That's not yours.
Yeah, my only parts when it came to cheating is especially depending mostly in the fighting game world when you're literally like so close to somebody, so just a little jab of the shoulder or the elbow kind of would throw them off. And I always hated every once in a while the controllers, the buttons. Sometimes they will get sticky from people playing with soda and stuff
or fingers. It's like there's like skin cells get in there. Kind of gross. Yeah.
Gross. Yeah.
Okay, more geek news. This one's about Stan Lee. So good old Stan Lee.
Fighting back.
Yeah, we talked about this in the last podcast. That there were a lot of suspicions about him being a victim of elder abuse. Him actually suffering from like people taking advantage of him on a financial basis. So, apparently, his manager even stole his blood and imprinted it in comic books for like sales. A lot of weird stuff happened, and Stan Lee has had enough of this. We weren't here last week, so we couldn't get to it then. But Stan Lee's situation had been documented quite publicly, and he's actually made 2 public video posts about it. The first one, Stan Lee essentially talks to the people in general, saying these rumors aren't true. Things between my daughter and my friend are good. I don't know why people are saying this. And then there's a second one in which he talks to specifically reporters and news agencies who are reporting on these allegations, and he's saying that this is libel. This is not true, and if you don't stop this, I'm going to sue you. And that second one was found through TMZ. Like it was a message to TMZ directly from Stan Lee, which is super funny to watch an old man threaten them. But there it is. Other parts of this are the fact that, Kevin Smith's like, oh yeah, Stan, if things are going bad there, you can come, live with us. Yeah. But the actual complaints are very in point because he actually has gone on to sue his former manager or a former business associate. And some of the charges include some very, very, very shady things. Let's see. He's suing ex-manager Geraldo Oliveras for allegedly duping him out of millions of dollars, even selling his blood according to legal documents obtained by People. After Lee's wife's Joan's death in 2017, the comic book legend became the target of various unscrupulous business sycophants and opportunists who saw a chance to take advantage of his despondent state of mind. Oliveras, the complaint alleges, was one such opportunist. It goes on to he caused approximately $4.6 million to be transferred out of Stan Lee's account, Merrill Lynch account, without his authorization. Lee also claims the complainant, Oliveras, convinced him to create a false charity called Hands of Respect, which Lee's lawyer said was used to funnel money away from Lee into Oliveras' own pocket. Now, it's not saying that Stan Lee knew it was a false charity, but that it was a false charity created by Oliveras to funnel money away from Stan Lee into his own pockets. There are documents apparently that show that there was a draw from Lee's assets for $300,000 purported to be a loan for Hands of Respect, but the loan was never paid and is not evidenced by any loan documents. Additionally, Lee's attorneys say that his signature on the check is either a forgery or is obtained by Oliveras under false pretenses. And there's a bunch of other stuff, including like a purchase of an $850,000 apartment in Los Angeles for Oliveras' exclusive use. Oliveras actually says that as Stanley wanted me to stay close to him because people were threatening me. And that's his defense on that. I'm like, okay, so there's a ton of stuff here, so go check it out. We have links in the show notes for you if you want to. A lot of things, including like millions of dollars just kind of disappearing from these accounts through complicated wire transfers. So it's good to me that, you know, Stanley's at least taking an active role in like going after people who are actually stealing from him.
Yeah, it's dirtbag people like taking advantage.
I saw
of them.
Hans was here for.
I hate scumbag people taking advantage of the elderly, and it's kind of like not even the cougar kind of style, like, you know, gold digger lady. Right. It's not some like, you know, no offense to her, like Anna Nicole taking care of, you know, advantage of her like millionaire husband.
People who you think you trust, people who maybe used to be friends, and they're just,
once money gets involved, man. Yeah,
that's always the case, unfortunately, which is why having contracts, having lawyers, but even then, sometimes those can be the same people who are taking advantage of you. It's like, and as you get older, your mental faculties just aren't what they used to, so it's hard to spot those things. And then issues of dementia and other like mental diseases and things that come with, you know, just getting older. It's like, it's super sad that, you know, Stanley would lose like $4 million.
I thought he would have like, you know, closer family to take advantage, not advantage in a bad way, but advantage of taking care of him.
It seems like his wife was his main support, and when she died, like, he just kind of had now his daughter and his friend, like a few friends. So I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Feel bad for him, but, you know, hopefully he has the right people next to him that he could actually trust, and they'll, you know, take care of him properly. And because, oh my god, it's horrible. But I can only imagine though, like, the real living arrangements if Stan Lee lived with Kevin Smith. You know, he'd be having like the whole, you know, as much as it would be like in a situation where you have like an elderly family member.
He lives with older people. Like, he has his, in addition to his like wife and kids, he has his mother and father-in-law on his mom's side who live with him.
Yes,
and they just go off on vacations and they come back and forth or whatever. But so he's like used to have. I mean, he has a huge house. I mean, I'm sure he has the spare bedrooms for Stan. Like, can you just imagine Excelsior, Spider Friends? What's for breakfast?
I'm gonna be honest. I did this at work, and I don't, like, you know, I'm putting myself in a spot saying this. I'm looking at houses, not planning to buy anything.
Oh, but I thought you were casing them. Okay, go
I'm checking out houses, and the curiosity got the best of me. I'm like I kind of know where Kevin Smith lives.
Yeah, he lives in the Hollywood Hills.
Exactly, but I didn't know his address.
You can look it up. It was Ben Affleck's home, and so it's probably public record.
I actually have it.
Yeah, it's not hard to find. If you buy one of those maps of the stars, he was on their tour.
Exactly. My only thing is like, should I mail him anything? But then I'm thinking I'm probably gonna cease and desist kind of letter, or
it's just like, well, I guess you could try. I mean,
but just maybe don't send him anything creepy, you know.
I'm sure he gets all kinds of stuff. Like, maybe there's a place for Smodco.
But do you think he'd have a PO box or something? Yeah,
maybe. I mean, you can look it up, like where to send Kevin Smith presents, where people can look at it and check for bombs.
But yeah, because I think obviously the letter would get to him. It's just a matter of him acknowledging, seeing what it is, because you're like, oh, fan mail, whatever.
Yeah, it could be. He could have somebody who does that. I'm sure he has plenty of assistants who go through his mail and just, okay, these are fan mails, we'll write back, or automatically, or like a form letters and fun stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole thing is Stan Lee living with Kevin Smith.
Like, it's probably easier to like see him and talk to him at the show. Like, it just go right into the Hollywood Babylon and be like, hey, I'm a super big fan. Go to do a luminescent cock joke with, you know, for my wife. It's her anniversary. Thank you, or something. Or just like, volunteer for Jay and Silent Bob Goodold.
That's true.
There you go. Fun stuff. Okay. Sorry, we geek out. Next story. Disney's acquisition of Hollywood 21st Century Fox apparently is still in works. And apparently it might be done as soon as the spring or summer of 2019. So a little over a year from now. This was kind of, again, a side story from last week. I just thought it was interesting, the fact that this is not dead. And while people have stated publicly, like, for like official purposes, like, oh, the government has to review it. It's a big merger. And if they approve it, great. If they don't, it might take as long as like 4 or 5 years to get this done. But executives for Fox have said that, oh, this is probably going to be done next year, which means like all those films being scheduled for next year might very much be now Disney properties by next year. So all those X-Men things and all those Deadpools and whatever.
All that paperwork, all the crossing the T's, dotting the I's, making it all official.
So you could very well see like the X-Men in like, we won't put them in Infinity Wars, obviously that's already kind of done, but you might see something start in production, something like next year, like after Dark Phoenix goes through. I think there were already rumors that, this is the last X-Men after Dark Phoenix from this company.
Well, the rumors that I've heard from other like news organizations like the Nerdist and whatnot is Phase 4. Phase 4 is the big thing, and of course, to be more appropriate, Phase 4 would be a great introduction for the Fantastic Four to bring back in, and that's just because
assuming they keep those rights. Because remember, another company in some other country has those rights. Should Fox like default for them or something?
Exactly.
There's a bunch of like other things.
That's if they link it in. But also there was another hint on the possibility of another great storyline that'll be coming up later on is Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So the Secret Wars could involve the X-Men.
Secret Wars begin when in what's her name, Captain Marvel's film. Like you have the introduction of the Kree and shapeshifters in that particular movie, and so that might be the start of that particular storyline. All kinds of great things are possible. So Disney is more than happy like to take kind of dead intellectual property, things that aren't being done well, and revamp them for themselves. I mean, you look at all the stuff done with Star Wars.
Yeah, my thing, it might not be, well, it'll be in our lifetime, but if that ever does happen, honestly, don't expect the current crew of Avengers to be.
Well, yeah, they're getting older. They could mix and match. You never know. I mean, I think Robbie Downey Jr. is always going to be Iron Man. He just fits so well. I can't see another actor who could take his place and have like the same impact in the role. Because he just brings so much of his personal life and I think into it, as far as like the mindset of the public. Like everyone's like, he was a pretty boy, he had a great life, and then drugs and alcohol hit him, and this was his comeback, and that very much mirrors the Iron Man story, and the Tony Stark story, I should say, and so for a lot of people's mind, that connection is really deep rooted. Okay, other great stories in the geek world. We have HeMan. If you're a fan of HeMan, apparently they have 2 new directors for the HeMan reboot. It's going to be the 2 guys, the Nee brothers. So the Nee brothers are going to be directing HeMan. Apparently, the David Goyer is supposed to do it, and he lost out for scheduling purposes. And so we have 2 new directors for HeMan, which is a film I don't know that needs to be remade, but it's a property somebody has, and why not?
Take advantage of it. Hopefully they do a better version than the Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren.
Which isn't horrible. But I thought it was great. It's nice to see, what's her name? Something Cox in there as an early film before she did Friends.
Oh, yeah. My thing is I wanted to see the fan film one that actually got released out in the theater, like a very limited engagement kind of thing. But it was done really well. They had a little bit of a budget on there, but of course it wasn't.
Yeah,
licensed and official.
It's hard to make a big budget thing on that, or like a wide production. And we don't own the intellectual properties right for that.
Yeah.
Okay, more geek news. Apparently, they're going to spend $1 billion, Amazon, on that whole Lord of the Rings trilogy. The whole Lord of the Rings, I should say, television series. They're planning to spend $1 billion for the entire series. They purchased the rights to make the television series for $250 million from the estate of the J.R. or Tolkien estate. And they're going to spend $1 billion with the B, not an M.
Wow.
For context, the entire trilogy for Lord of the Rings cost $93 million, so less than $100 million to make. And the series is going to cost $1 billion. That's just a huge amount of money to spend on a TV series. So I don't know how Amazon is going to get that money back personally. But there you go. That's they're at least investing money into the property.
Probably a bonus if you buy the series or get assigned to it. Along with your Prime, you get probably like a little ring.
No, that's all they're really doing, because they don't make money off the series directly. They make money on getting people to sign up for Amazon Prime, and that's their goal with all this television stuff they're making. Is that when you sign up for Amazon Prime, you get free shipping on products of a certain price tag, or like it totals over $30 or $40 by now, and you get all this great media stuff as well. So sign up for Amazon Prime, and that's all they're really concerned with. But some television shows that they make just don't bring in the audience members to justify the cost. And I'm kind of curious to see whether or not this Lord of the Rings is going to be one of those.
Well, I haven't really watched anything through Amazon Prime for like their video, so there's no weird ads, nothing like that coming up.
If you have Prime now. Like it's all streaming. It's like Netflix where they don't have ads because they don't need them. It's just like a bunch of television shows or movies you can watch. It's you watch them and they stream. It's like it's another streaming service like Netflix, where they don't need to have ads in there because their model is not like, oh, we fund our movies with ads. It's we fund our movies with subscribers to the Amazon Prime service.
I get it.
So there you go. So fun stuff. Hopefully it'll turn out well. Also in news, we have Jessica Jones season 3 was actually confirmed, so they're actually going to be picking that for a third season. We've seen both seasons 1 and 2. Are you looking forward to season 3?
I'm all for it. I haven't finished season 2 to be honest with you, but I can't wait. Did they give up? Are they done with Mr. I'm Danny whatever? You
mean for the
Iron
Defender?
Fist?
Oh, I don't know if they're doing an Iron Fist season 3, but he is going to appear apparently in the next Luke Cage season in the Luke Cage season 3. He's going to appear in that. They've already shown pictures of them working together, and there's some thinking they're going to be starting that Heroes for Hire storyline of the two of them. Doing that as almost like this business.
See, I would understand this if they do it in storyline, because obviously I haven't read the comics, so I don't know much about the Heroes for Hire. He literally loses his fortune, like he can't get it back, he can't whatever kind of thing, so he has to get into that line of business.
I don't actually know why they started. I just know that I mean I understand why Luke Cage does it. He's not a rich billionaire. Yeah. But the last I saw the Defenders, like, Danny Rand's fortunes were doing really well. He was a multimillionaire or almost a billionaire. So why he would do it other than just like, oh, I'm going to help my friend and fight justice. He can keep all the money or whatever. We'll see. But that is in the news. Oh, also, they're going to do a reboot of Mad About You. If you've ever seen it, you're probably older than I, or probably too young, to be honest. It's very much just something like, oh, when I was growing up, it was on television and reruns. It stars Helen Hunt and Paul Reiser as a married couple, and they just had stories. It was like a story of the week kind of thing, but it was very much New York married couple. Very witty, smart writing, went on for several seasons, and apparently they're going to be making a remake, or not a remake, but an extension of that movie series with the original cast and characters, the same way they did have done with a bunch of television shows recently.
Good for him. I haven't seen Paul Reiser do anything since then.
Well, no, he's done lots of stuff since then. It's just, but it was very much in like the 90s and early 2000s, and nothing more recently because he's
the peak of sitcom era.
They're both just older. Yeah, which doesn't mean now that you can't do anything. I mean, you look at Roseanne. Yeah. That show's been doing great. Okay. In more news, apparently Glow is getting returned to Netflix. They have their second season. It's going to premiere on June the 29th. So if you're into that show, that's when it's coming out. They actually did this like really cute music video to announce it. It's really funny, interesting, and adorable. And we can't play the music because we don't have the rights to that.
It's Maniac.
Yeah, it's Maniac.
So
yeah, but it's them in there and getting dressed, doing things. Very funny 80s neon kind of thing going on. So definitely go.
I'm still waiting for some of the original Glow girls from the original series.
I don't know how many of them could still wrestle or show up as cameos.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Well, no, we saw that documentary on them, and but a lot of them were very much in their 70s and 80s. I think they were older.
They're older, yes, but
they're definitely older. And a lot of them were have suffered from their wrestling injuries. What was it? I forget her name. The big girl. Her real life version of it, she was in a wheelchair because she couldn't get around anymore.
Mount Fiji. She passed.
Yeah.
She passed.
So there you go. So even worse. So she's definitely not going to show now.
No, but there's other ones, even some of the original ones. She was known as Ferrari in the Glow series, but she's known as Ivory in the WWE. She's a Hall of Famer. She's more than able. She's trained. I'm surprised she was entitled to it, in a certain episode or whatnot. But we'll see. There's always a time for a cameo one way or another.
Yep, cameos galore. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's see what else we got. Apparently, Gremlins is also going to be getting a reboot. This is a total reboot from Home Alone and Harry Potter director Christopher Columbus. He was talking to some folks at Metro, and they tried to pin him down on the rumors of a Goonies remake or Goonies reboot or a sequel. He kind of downplayed that and he instead confirmed, Gremlins is definitely going to get a reboot, and he's going to be directing it. So, you interested at all in a reboot of Gremlins?
I want to see where they're going to go with it because, the closest thing they've done is, of course, comic book versions of it and stuff like sequels, fan art, and all that.
Yeah, you had Gremlins 1 and 2, and those are the official ones. Yeah. But, the Mogwai kind of always looked like a Furby or like a Furbies were based on him, we should say, because Gremlin came out first. And I'm kind of curious to see what they would do with the character, whether they would continue to make it practical effects, do another little puppet mannequin, or do a CGI thing. And I'm not sure which I would like.
I'd like to see a CGI version because obviously the CGI has evolved and become really awesome since then.
I only want to see a practical version because those characters are very much based in like reality. Like you saw them move, you saw their scaly skin glisten and their weird faces move. I don't know that I would like a CGI version.
Yeah. Well, I'd still want to check it out either way.
Yeah, I'd probably watch it. So I'm just saying. Oh well. Okay, what else we got? Oh, Steven Spielberg apparently is going to be making a comic book movie based on the DC movie called Black Hawk. Their property for Black Hawk. And if you've never heard of Black Hawk, neither did I. Have you ever heard of Black Hawk?
I heard. I've seen a little bit of it from watching actually the Justice League Unlimited. They kind of introduced a little bit of the character and it's really good because obviously for the people that don't know anything about some older characters, they give you a little like Cliff Note origin of them. So you're like, oh, okay, it's based on pretty much it's a firing squadron, fighter
squadron.
Yeah,
it's a World War. I want to say World War II, World War One group of fighter pilots.
Fighter squadron. Yeah. There you go.
They're like the description this is from what's it called? Wikipedia. Black Hawk is an eponymous fictional character of the long-running comic book series Black Hawk, published first by Quality Comics and later by DC Comics, primarily created by some people. Led by the mysterious man known as Black Hawk in 1941. The Black Hawks, or more formally, the Black Hawk Squadron, are a small team of World War II-era ace pilots of varied nationalities, each typically known under a single name, either given or as a surname. Though the membership roster has undergone changes over the years, the team has been portrayed most consistently as having 7 core members. So they're fighter pilots, ace fighter pilots from World War II. So this is apparently is going to be a comic book movie and a World War II epic.
So think of it as Captain America, but in disguise.
Yes, without the superpowers. So not like Captain America at all.
Okay, Rocketeer in disguise.
The Red Baron.
Red Baron.
The Red Baron, maybe. Yeah.
Memphis Belle. Those old.
I don't think they have superpowers. I saw. If you want something that's going to be a little more, I guess, like it, is going to be maybe the what's the name of the movie? The something Gentleman. The one with Sean Connery. Remember, it was like this 1920s, 30s movie, but it is based on real people. Like you had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You had the guy from the Captain Nemo from the submarine. That I forget what it's called. The Eternal Gentleman of something.
Extraordinary League of
Gentlemen or something. Yeah,
the League of Extraordinary.
I feel like it's going to be more like that, where their powers or the things they do are based on the technology, the time, stuff like that. So, not as. Honestly, I'm not as interested in that.
I think depending who they get for the lead.
I mean, I'm sure Steven Spielberg is going to be great.
The name Spielberg, everybody's going to will get interested in, but they want to know who's the lead.
Maybe Wonder Woman will make a cameo.
Maybe they have a female Black Hawk.
Well, no, this is DC Comics, right? So you can have Wonder Woman make a cameo. She was around in World War II.
That's true.
So, maybe that'll be their time.
Why not?
Yeah. Okay, what else we got? They revealed last week who's going to be the new Terminator. Apparently, it's going to be the same guy who is the Ghost Rider in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Robbie Reyes. Sorry, that's not his name. That's the character name. His name is Gabriel Luna. The new Terminator film is going to be produced by Jim Cameron, but directed by Tim Miller, who's the guy who directed their first Deadpool film. And the new Terminator is going to be this Hispanic guy you see on the visual version of the podcast. Otherwise, he's just Gabriel Luna, or that guy from... he was Ghost Rider in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, there you go.
Nothing against him, not for the Hispanic, but his shape-wise, He
is a very much thin... Well, I mean, you don't have to be super buff to be the Terminator.
No, I think they're just going slimmer, simpler, kind of like even the way the T-1000, obviously, he was the motorcycle cop with the liquid metal. Then I think it was Genesis, or which other one? They had the Asian guy.
Well, they had a couple of different versions, but they had several liquid cops who were Asian or
then they had the girl one that was kind of robots stupid, and
and then Matt Smith as a Terminator at some point.
So I'll see. Well, I'm totally open-minded.
I kind of thought is this racist if you're the only brown person in that movie is the bad guy? And then I read the rest of the story. It's they're also introducing some other Hispanic people just so it's not racist.
How to balance it out.
They're they're also going to have additional Hispanic cast members, including Natalie Reyes and Diego Boneta. So there you go. That way it's not it's not racist if you have the one bad guy in the movie be the only non-white person.
Yeah. Well, it'd kind of be different if it was like a black guy, you know.
Why? I mean, if there's only one person of color and he's the evil villain.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's the level of, and this has been implied for video games too. It seems like the darker your shade of skin, the more of the evil, the bad guy you are.
Yeah, that's kind of the implication of like, oh, white is right and peaceful, and dark people of color are just the bad guys.
Exactly.
Don't you know? And that's kind of the implication over a lot of Hollywood movies over the years. But as like more modern films have come out, that's been less and less the case, of course. So I just thought it was a really interesting choice. Because, of course, I'd like to see an Hispanic character in a major franchise like this. But not if he's the only person in the movie who's Hispanic, which is why I think they mentioned, we're also adding some other Hispanic people in here. So don't worry.
I would like to see like almost the extreme opposite of going like albino, but if not making a big like Seamus,
the opposite
Irish
of albino.
No, not the opposite of albino.
Okay, so go the albino. Okay,
go albino route. Go big. Go use Seamus.
I mean, the other people in this movie are still the same guys. Like you're gonna have Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton is making a return in this particular film. Mackenzie Davis. So other people are that you well know better are also on this film. So there you go. So cool stuff. More casting news. See, Asian people. This is for the Mulan movie, though, folks. This last week, we learned that a couple like really big names are going to be added to the Disney's live-action version of Mulan, including Donnie Yen. He's going to be playing Commander Toon. We also have Jet Li and Gong Li, who are also going to be added to the film's cast. Jet Li is going to be the Emperor of China. So that's a choice. I'm not sure if that's the best use of his skills, but hey, whatever. And you're also going to have Gong Li as the movie's villain. So if I remember the movie, that was going to be like Shen Li, the big Mongo dude. But apparently in this particular version of the film, she's going to be facing off against an evil witch. So she's going to be... Mulan's going to face an evil witch played by this lady in the video version of the podcast, Gong Li. So there you go. So it's two famous actors and actresses from a lot of good martial arts films.
My thing is, I kind of don't like the way they're modifying this a little too much now. From what I heard, another report that they confirmed that they're gonna not have Shane in it. Remember her?
Who was that again?
The love interest that trained him, trained her, that didn't know it was
Isn't that
her as a dude.
I think it's who's Commander Toon then. I mean, I thought that was going to be the character.
That's why they.
So there's not going to be necessarily a love interest or somebody who saves her, which is fine. It's a different kind of movie. Yeah, they're definitely changing the story in some respects. It's not going to be musical. You're not going to have like a lot of like CGI action. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be Talking Dragon, voiced by Eddie Murphy. So this feels more like a regular Asian martial arts film that just happens to be owned by Disney. But they're pulling in a lot of like big names. So I'm hoping it's going to be a better action film than that.
Hopefully it's well done, because for the live action transfers, Jungle Book was good. Beauty and the Beast was good. Cinderella,
so they would do a live action version that they released. I can't remember if they did Cinderella one, did they?
Yeah, remember?
Nope, not at all.
She was blonde. She wasn't all decked out. Helena Carter. She was actually the fairy godmother.
I don't remember that. To be honest, I don't.
It came out.
Okay,
and the other,
you're correct. I know they did one for like the Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, there was that one as well. So the other one that will be coming out later down the line, and of course, going to be with the CG format is The Lion King.
Yeah,
and I think the other one that
casting for that already.
The other one I think that it's in the works that nothing's been official on paper, but Pinocchio and Dumbo.
Yep,
supposedly by Tim Burton, if I'm right, which was going to be all right.
Yeah, they're doing a live action of Dumbo as well. You're right. I think that one's supposed to be directed by. Wasn't that probably directed by Steven Spielberg? Some big name like that. Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just speculating at this point, folks. Don't listen to us. Okay. Last bit of entertainment news. We have casting for. Actually, this is live action photos from the set of the Teen Titans. This is a live action reboot. I think it's being done by. What's the name of that company? It's like the Disney Channel. I forget the name of it.
The Freeform?
The Freeform, that's it. Yeah, Freeform. They're doing this. And we have some photos of the characters, including Starfire. This is Starfire. So there you go, folks. And also we have Beast Boy and Raven. They've all been captured on film. Beast Boy, if you're listening to just the audio version of this, he has green hair. He has his actual, like the regular red and white outfit on for his jacket and black pants. But he is not green. And they don't show him shifting, of course, because that's a CGI effect. But his skin color is normal Hanish. And Raven seems very happy. But again, she's not in character. She's holding like some Starbucks drink. But her outfit very much does match what you would expect from that character. Like
emo,
dark purple hair, gothic like makeup looking, and the outfits. Starfire though is black. You know, that's it. She is, and she has
No. I believe she's black.
Yeah, like no. I can see the picture. I'm pretty sure she's black. But she also has like this like bright pink, like super curly hair, which I don't have a problem with. But like, she's an alien.
The change in the ethnicity, it was like, okay, no issue with that. But her outfit and all that, and her reviews of other people, that she looks like a streetwalker.
It's this very like purple, like very shiny, like dress looking things with like some like purple leggings. Like kind of like these long ballet slippers.
Yeah, because like the jacket, I understand because it's cold.
It's cold. Yeah, the jacket's
that's
there.
That's not the costume.
We know that's not.
But like, her hair, I'm like the color isn't it supposed to be orange?
I'd have less issue with the hair.
Supposed to be orange.
I'm like, not that I'm against like somebody being black and like playing this film. Like the original character is orange or something. Isn't she? Like,
orange
she's orangish.
skin.
So I'm like, that's a very interesting choice. Unless they're going to CGI this up, I'm like, she's supposed to be like this really obvious alien-looking chick, and like that doesn't fit here. I kind of also have an issue with like Beast Boy not being green.
Yeah, like
for
even
the same reasons.
Like even for her, even. Not because she's black. Gamora is played by a black woman, but she's painted green. Yeah,
they green her up.
You think they'd orange this chick up or something, you know? But no, I've seen. No offense to the black people, but like watching RuPaul's Drag Race when black people put on the type of makeup that to lighten their skin or whatnot, it looks like powdered Doritos dust.
No, but Gamora does a really good job. Who get the people who do Gamora's makeup? Like that seems like an easy pull for this franchise character. So I'm like, okay.
I just don't. Yeah, especially like you said, her supposed to be being an alien.
She's supposed to be an alien.
You know,
like you're earth washing her.
Yeah, because pretty much because unless her planet looks
I didn't
like
just
all of those people,
she was like Hispanic or white. I'm like, no, she's supposed to be an orange alien. That's a really big part of the character.
I don't care what shape she is. Yeah. Is the color?
It's not like she shapeshifts. So I'm like, that's a choice. We'll see how that works out for you guys.
I'm expecting the really long hair too. Like
that would be nice, but like, I get that that's not realistic.
I wouldn't mind the Teen Titans Go, the little bang kind of long hair, or even the old school like 70s style in the big gigantic.
Yeah, I don't have a problem like her actual hairstyle here. I'm like the rest of it is like that doesn't seem in character. We've already also seen photos of like Robin in costume.
Yeah,
and he looks a little old to be in that costume. He looks like he should be Nightwing at that point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So one more story just for fun, folks. This is just before we get to the movie news, trailer showdown. Ads. We have ads to wait through.
People got to pay bills, man.
So this was just like a fun story. There's an actual pillow fighting tournament style in Japan. There's a whole league of pillow fighters apparently in Japan. I just thought it was a fun story. I came across the video. I think you showed it or something, and it's just funny. Like
That's cute.
They use futon. They all start out in their beds. That's part of how the game starts. And they jump out of their beds and they use their futons or their blankets as like a protection. And everyone else grabs pillows and they throw them across like these mats. And everybody it's a full on like real thing. Like they have numbers on their backs to identify them. There's a timer. It's super fun and interesting. I'm like, this. I'm like, I don't know that we could do this in America. We'd probably murder each other with our pillows. We start like putting bricks in there. But it's like
it's an equivalent to dodgeball. It's like dodgeball
with pillows.
Yeah, with pillows. They're wearing. They're pretty cool.
Everyone takes it super seriously, as only Japan could do. Like this is a whole league tournament thing. I'm like, okay. Very interesting to watch. Like, there you go. Just for fun.
Oh, yeah. I totally would have played dirty with it. You know, especially the blanket, since it looks pretty like thin and soft. I would have rolled that thing up and cracked those kids.
Well, yeah. Apparently, you can't cross the futons, though. It's like there's this whole, it's like the lava zone in the middle where you can't cross.
That's why.
Yeah.
Roll that blanket up and crack them.
Yeah, but the thing's supposed to be like, this shield that you're using to protect your teammates. And, I'm like, okay, different strategies maybe. I feel like America would enter this too seriously. Yeah. True.
They're actually legit adult dodgeball leagues, and they go out there.
Hardcore, man.
What's the worst part? No, yeah, especially what's the worst part is they're getting professional softball players to play dodgeball, and you seen those ladies? They'll got that crazy underhand.
They're bringing in ringers. We would totally do that. Yeah, we would bring in ringers for the pillow fight.
Good. And enhanced ringers. It makes sure that lady, dude, whatever's on the best steroids as possible until they because
they got this 12-year-old kid who looks like the Hulk.
Oh yeah,
and it's a girl.
Until
She-Hulk.
Yeah, until they got rules about drug testing or whatever. Oh yeah, they're gonna go the extreme route.
No, that's America for you. Okay, we have the movie trailer showdown, folks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trailers this week because we missed last week. So only have 7 entries. Only one can win. We're gonna begin with The Incredibles #2. They did a full-on trailer this time. Very nice looking. You see the introduction with the family sitting at a dinner table using their superpowers. What'd you think of the trailer, man?
Yeah, I like it. I've already noticed that I've been in the store. The toy lines are already coming out, so they're trying to cash in on it as much as possible.
Apparently, they accidentally showed off the villain too, again from the toy section.
They didn't have the villain out when I was there, but they're definitely going for the family aspect on it. Pretty much, it's
kind of the reverse of #1.
Well, kind of. I was gonna say this is pretty much the Disney Fantastic Four movie that you guys all wanted, but until then, this is going to be it.
Yeah, honestly, this is better than any of the Fantastic Four movies. That I've ever put out, to be honest. In this case, the story focuses on the wife as the lead superhero, leaving superpowered dad at home
to be Mr.
to take
Mom.
care of the kids. Yeah, so it's a very interesting family dynamic thing. So fun stuff there. Okay, next trailer is going to be Solo. So this is the the last trailer because this movie comes out this month. Doesn't it?
Yes, May 20-something.
So not this month, next month. I'm incorrect, obviously. May 25th. It's in the thing I'm looking at on YouTube, and I couldn't read it apparently.
No worries.
So this is coming out next month on May 25th, but this apparently is the last trailer they're showing.
Yeah.
It shows a bunch of stuff, gambling.
Yeah, and it looks like you might have seen a actual Jedi in it. At least it's towards almost at the end of the trailer.
I don't think so. I remember I saw one of the guys with little lightsaber knives.
Yeah.
That I thought was kind of cool. But where did you see a Jedi?
It looked like towards the end of the trailer. It looks like the Jedi was either falling or doing something because it looked like he had a saber as he was going down. I don't know, it looked like a slash technique or something. Right there, there you go.
No, that was another character. That's not a Jedi necessarily. It's just somebody with little tiny lightsaber blades.
Oh, okay. Then of course the whole reveal actually how old Chewbacca is, and they showed Chewbacca's whoever friend, lover, whatever. Other Wookiee.
They actually say he's what do you mean you're 105 years old? Because then that totally ties in with the actual prequels for the Star Wars thing.
And why he lasted so long.
He's why are you still around? You're a cub then. you're 105. Well, there you go. That's why you can pilot a ship. So fun stuff there. So it's a good trailer.
Yeah.
And I think I'm wondering when the Life Debt thing is going to come in. So I'm hoping that'll be part of the story.
Yeah. Okay.
We also have Ocean's 8. After the commercial, of course.
So it's pretty much Chick Oceans.
Chick Oceans, yeah. Not necessarily a bad thing, by the way.
No.
We have Sandra Bullock, a lot of other people, Emily Blunt.
Yeah, they didn't go too far as in trying to make a hard comedy in it, even though they have some funny people in it. So it wasn't like a Melissa McCarthy kind of movie.
No, this is serious. This is their actual. I think Mindy. I don't think his actual name. I forget her name.
Chick from the Mindy Project.
Yeah, the chick from the Mindy Project. She's there. She's going to be the comedy relief. You have a bunch of people whose names I don't have to name people, folks.
Miss Julia Roberts, of course, is the main head. She's running the show.
Julia Roberts or
yeah, she's right there. They just showed her again. Then of course it looked Christian Wiig. Is that Christian Wiig? No,
that was not Julia Roberts. That was what's her face?
Sandra Bullock. I'm sorry, Sandra. I get those two confused sometimes.
Because they look so similar.
White people, I guess.
No, but you have a bunch of people in it. It looks a very interesting heist movie. She's supposed to be the sister to one of the original Ocean's 11 people, Nanny Ocean or something.
Yeah.
And she's getting out of prison and she's going to do another big heist. It looks like a very interesting female-driven, heist movie. So funny. We also now have this is from this week, the trailer for Bleach. This is the full-on trailer for this movie, finally showing you the monsters. Which is a very big part of this particular anime franchise, anime manga franchise. So before they would just show you one monster and him with his big sword, but now you get to see everybody. So I thought it was interesting. You even get to see some of the other characters. The girl. There you go.
Yeah, funky CG, but not in a bad way. Honestly, CG quality wise, I want to say
really
it looks.
good, yeah.
I want to say it looks better than Full Metal.
Yeah. The stuff looks more realistic. I think maybe they did a combination of practical and CGI effects.
Especially the sword, because I wasn't sure what route they're going to go. If I thought it was going to be a big CG sword, or
I knew
like
that the bow that guy was going to use was going to be kind of CGI.
Yeah,
because it's too glowy. But looks like they're using like a good combination of both.
Yeah, this is done pretty well.
Yeah. I'm really impressed by the combination, the thoroughness they use for these particular CGI effects. So there you go. That was the trailer. We also have the Equalizer 2. This was just kind of an interesting trailer. I'll be honest, I thought it was a movie about a stereo adjustment guy, an equalizer. But bum.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't even know there was a part 1. So
no, I didn't look it up. There is an Equalizer 1. This is the Equalizer 2. I don't know if it's the same guy. I feel like this is a franchise like that like Jet Li was in the first time.
I was surprised that they're still using. No offense to Mr. Denzel Washington, highly respected actor and all that, but him using him as a action hero, more or less.
No, he's done actiony stuff before. He's done like several action films where he was like a bodyguard or something.
Yeah.
He has to kill a bunch of dudes. But this is definitely taking it up now to a lot more martial arts.
Yeah,
choreographed fight scene kind of stuff, which is much harder, especially as you get older.
Oh yeah,
but he looks really good. Looks nice. I'm hoping these aren't the best fight scenes though, that are like used in the trailer.
No.
But it looks really interesting. He's he's a double. He's a secret assassin. His group is he gets kidnapped kids or whatever people, but he works for like this shadowy sub organization who doesn't officially exist, and then his boss gets kidnapped and or killed or murdered. So a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So and then all heck breaks loose as he fights them all.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff. Good trailer. We also have Deadpool 2. Apparently this is supposed to be their final trailer.
Yeah, it's actually more extended. They actually introduced some of the other characters. Huh?
When does this one come out? I know something comes out this month.
That one, no, they haven't actually gave a date on that one either. It's always like coming soon or like
release May 18th.
All right,
we're both wrong.
That usually like press right up on top, but that was another one.
So this is coming out the same month as Solo. This is coming out like I think 2 weeks before them. At this point, then, so
they're
it's
gonna
really
be
very
fine.
close. Yeah, we're almost at the end of April.
They're gonna be fine, but a lot of good movies coming out. They actually introduced a Shadow Star. You see some of the other more of the other characters.
Yeah, especially in that plane scene.
Yeah, the Terry Crews one. They show him and everything, but I don't really remember his.
No, I think we talked about who he's going to be. His powers, like he's this bionic man or something. And he has these abilities for like electricity or something, but something bionic like that.
I like that. They had the regular Joe Schmo guy, like my name's Bill or something.
I don't think
like
he's
that.
a regular person though. He has superpowers.
No, the guy for the interview part is like, so what do you do? He's like, I just saw the application and just decided to come in.
That isn't me. We actually apparently has a Twitter account as well. That character.
Oh, really?
And he's into bee stuff, so I think that's their hint that he's like a bee guy. Like maybe he attracts them or something.
We'll see, because he looks like a Joe Schmo, like a tech support kind of guy, works at an office.
Yeah, they also in his Twitter account, he's like, somebody like comment like, it looks like he has a dildo on him. I was like, oh no, how do I report this guy for like foul language use and like that kind of descriptive stuff? So apparently he's supposed to be like a really straight-laced character.
Yeah, and it's awesome, especially because he's in his like members only jacket, plaid shirt, whatever, and him diving out of a plane with the rest of the X-Force team. So that just made it awesome. And I love that, once again, Deadpool for breaking that fourth wall, making a DC reference.
Yeah, he does several times. And DC made a Green Lantern reference. Like, there was another Green Lantern movie, but we don't talk about that. So they fired right back, which was really
whatever,
fun.
dude.
Yeah.
And like, it was a bad movie, not a bad actor. Yeah. See, there you go, that guy.
This guy.
Whoever he is, whatever he is, he's like, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has to have superpowers of some kind to be useful.
Looks like yeah.
One come maybe he's B-Man. He just can look like an average Joe.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have SuperCon. This is a comedy movie about a heist for a con. It's about guys who do film stuff. We actually had a lot of good comedians in here. And they're going to rip off like this guy who's super rich already, but he also like charges fans like $70 a signed photo.
Yeah.
And he's a jerk to the other con people.
he's up there in age and everything. You know, I thought it would have like a Robert Downey Jr. kind of character.
No,
but I like the
really good like names in here. Like you have Ryan Calloway, Meg Grace, Mike Elps, Russell Peters, Clancy Brown, John Malkovich.
My thing is also about it, I think, because I don't know, I'm missing a little lackluster on it. Because of course licensing. Because so far I haven't seen any Marvel or DC characters.
I mean,
in
that's just like cost too much. Like, but this is an indie film basically.
Yeah.
That they sold to Sony. It's supposed to be very low. It's very low budget. Like all their costumes are very homemade.
Yeah, compared to like
that don't actually exist, and a lot of the humor is about like con culture.
Yeah, because compared to the like TED 2 or that, or like even Galaxy Quest, where they actually go to a con and stuff like that. You know, this was just kind of like just a weird kind of feeling.
No, yeah, this is definitely a specialized comedy humor. Like I get that. But still, interesting stuff. Okay, so we have 7 trailers, man. Which one for you? I'm probably already narrowing down to 2 for you. Which one did you pick?
Of course, Deadpool 2 for sure.
Okay,
and probably Incredibles 2.
I'm actually gonna go with Bleach on this one. Incredibles 2 is cool. Nothing super amazing there. It's like just nice to see it. I kind of thought it was gonna be either Solo for you or Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Both great trailers, but maybe they already got kind of old for me. But Bleach is new out this weekend. It's kind of just fun to see those characters from the anime and manga come to life on the screen, and so it's just really good special effects. I thought, that they went the extra mile to make them not look super cartoony. So I'm like, good for them. Yeah. So that one wins for me. So you get Deadpool 2, I get Bleach, and that's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out and watching with us. If you like the podcast and want to help support us in any way, shape, or form, you can find out the ways to do so at
geekbytespodcast.com/support.
There you go, folks. For Geek Bytes Podcast, I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And remember, folks, to go geek out about something. Goodbye, everybody.